actually underestimated the amount of gaslighting that light-skinned women do to light-skinned men. And I'm not saying it's all their fault. I know y'all reading the title, and of course this doesn't apply to all light-skinned women. But I seen this video, and I got on TikTok, and the amount of light-skinned women that publicly embarrass light-skinned men and their light-skinned sons is really out of control. On top of the other groups who do that as well, and it's something that has to be addressed. This female is basically calling light-skinned men soft because he brought up the fact of black women's history, so-called black women's, you know, hypocrisy about how black women can say they don't like light-skinned dudes, and even go farther by publicly humiliating light-skinned men for no reason in order to appease dark-skinned people. Like they do that. And this is not a new phenomenon. It's been going on since the 80s, really. All right, of these females feeling the need to do this and to pander to dark-skinned people based off the lies that dark-skinned men. She brought up slavery, and she doesn't know that these, like the Willie Lynch letter, is not real. It's a lie that dark-skinned men and white men made up and spread it throughout the mainstream media. It's a fake letter, basically. And my whole thing is that why is these females always trying to oppress or to take out their frustrations on light-skinned men? Like, if the white man did something to black people, why y'all taking it out on light-skinned men? Why don't y'all actually just go and attack white people? But they can't do that because they're too scary. And she basically tried to call these light-skinned boys soft and gaslight them about their experiences. And this is what I want to talk about, is about how a lot of light-skinned boys are always being publicly humiliated, and they don't say nothing about it because they're too afraid to get called soft. All right. They also get physically touched, sexually and violent, like sexually, and just getting abused, in the black community. But they don't want to say anything because their light-skinned mothers, due to dark-skinned people programming them with those ideologies, they get shamed for being soft. And since they like scrutinizing light-skinned men so much, on this video, I'm going to scrutinize them about their dating preferences and how they bring strange men around their sons and daughters. And you see this phenomenon a lot amongst black Americans, especially in the inner city, with these mulatto chicks making bad decisions as men. And we just seen, what's it called? The broad ISIS, or who married a rich man within a week, and he allegedly touched her daughter or something like that. The black guy. But yeah, that happens a lot. And we're going to talk about how light-skinned women love embarrassing their light-skinned sons due to their bad dating preferences and dating. And they do it on purpose too. All right. So since y'all want to over scrutinize light-skinned men, let's scrutinize you guys. We're going to talk about, since they like to over scrutinize light-skinned men, you light-skinned brothers should return the favor. All right. So you light-skinned brothers should start making y'all YouTube channels like dark-skinned men and white men do, and start scrutinizing y'all women about their dating preferences and how they fail their sons and how they fail the light-skinned community on purpose. We're going to talk about this broad Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole is your average light-skinned chick that's hood or just wants to be in the black community. She's a definition of a yellow bird. All right. Or a yellow hoe. I just use vulgar language, but that's actually what dark-skinned men call light-skinned women. Yellow hoes in the black community, right? But Keisha Cole has two light-skinned mulatto sons, who she publicly embarrasses due to her bad dating choices that she makes on purpose. All right, and how she chooses degenerate black rod over her light-skinned sons. And unfortunately, her light-skinned sons are going to have to pay for it in the very near future. All right. But we're going to talk about how this broad likes to take advantage of mentally ill, dark-skinned black males and degenerate black males in general, but preferably degenerate dark-skinned black males, and how she has some type of fetish for degenerate black males. All right. Keisha Cole, this guy right here, this cat on the right, is Antonio Brown, who mostly played for in the NFL for the Steelers. One of the best receivers I ever watched. But she chose this dude and tried to take advantage of this dude, and it backfired on her. And she tried to play victim, knowing good and damn well that relationship was not going to be fruitful and it wasn't going to work out. And I noticed a trend with this chick of how she would get with degenerate black males every 6 months to a year and then try to play victim when she knew that the relationship wasn't going to work out at all. And she was sprung off this dude. She ended up getting a tattoo on her backside to show her that basically she worships him. And it was after a couple days. All right. So we're going to talk about how light-skinned women allow these degenerate males, period, around their light-skinned children, knowing and some of these light-skinned, since they allow these strange men around their children and around them, a lot of times those strange men can take advantage of their children physically or sexually and the possible dangers it can come from it. We just seen that with the lady, what's her name? The trophy wife? That's another topic for another day. But also, I want to show you that this is a trend that she does every damn year. All right, let's go to the next slide. Notice she's with a so-called darker black male, degenerate black male again. And keep in mind that Keisha Cole is in her mid-40s. She's not a young woman. And these dudes that she's dating is in their early to mid-20s that she's taking advantage of. She tends to have a fetish for degenerate black males, younger black males, who have self-destructive qualities about themselves. All right, but notice this dude. He had this. I stutter. He had this broad on stage crying in front of the world last week, and she barely been with this dude. But think about how embarrassing that is. They talk about how embarrassing it is for her, but think about her sons at home, seeing these men run through their mother hitting the headboard, hit the wall every 5 seconds, and how she's embarrassing herself on public platforms, acting goofy. And I hope and I pray that she homeschool them boys, especially the oldest boy, because he's gonna get it when he go to school. She better not send him to no black school, because she's gonna get it. But these females, they go above and beyond with embarrassing their light-skinned sons due to the bad dating the bad dating decisions that they make. And I said, since these light-skinned broads always want, and these broads in general, want to always antagonize and over-scrutinize light-skinned men, so let's over-scrutinize them. And I'm going to let you know that these females, like Keisha Cole and a lot of these broads, they drawn to self-destructive tendencies, and those self-destructive tendencies that they claim that light-skinned men have, it could just be coming from them. All right, and they're just emulating you guys. But let me show you a guy that Keisha Cole is obsessed with. Keisha Cole is obsessed with this dude right here, Chris Brown. And Keisha Cole, I'm not saying that Keisha Cole is not physically attracted to him. I'm pretty sure she is. Obviously, she's attracted to him physically. But what I've noticed about Keisha Cole and about a lot of these light-skinned broads, they're drawn to self-destructive tendencies. That's actually why she's probably... Chris Brown done turned down Keisha Cole like fucking 10 times. Alright, but she's still bitter and she's obsessed with this man. She listens to his music all the time. But I feel like she's drawn to him not only basically how he looks, but she's drawn to his self-destructive tendencies. Why would you allow these men with these tendencies around your sons? A dark-skinned woman could not get away with this. She's going to be scrutinized by dark-skinned men for bringing these type of men around their children constantly. All right, and also the skin color dynamic with light-skinned women and dark-skinned men. Notice how dark-skinned women will be scrutinized if that was the other way around. If there was a light-skinned male and dark-skinned female, dark-skinned men will call them out for being colorist. So what is Keisha Cole? All right, but that's how privileged they are in the black community. They don't get called out about that. But she's drawn to these men's self-destructive tendencies. And why would you allow that around your children? All right. And I'm going to show you how a lot of these light-skinned females, a lot of the black women, period, she don't raise her son to be self-destructive, but you see the type of men that they bring home is self-destructive. And I notice that about black women sometimes, not all, a lot in the black community, because a lot of them do not really raise their sons to be self-destructive and be degenerates, but they actually raise them to be what you call cleanup guys. All right, but what happens is a lot of black males see the man that she's raising him to be is not the man that she's bringing home. So they try to fit the image that they're drawn to because they know that they don't really like the dudes that they're raising up to be, to hold doors for them and to be gentlemen and be, respect them all the time. They don't really like that because you can see. So a lot of black boys, they master game and fake degenerate swag in order to appease them. But I'm going to stop, bring it home with this. All right. To bring this home, this brother right here by the name of Anthony, I think his name is Anthony Pretty Boy something, but he's a UFC fighter. And he can fight. He's all right. And this dude shot with Keisha Cole around the time Antonio Brown dumped her. And I noticed how black women were in the comments cock blocking Keisha Cole, and I also noticed that some of them they were attracted to him. But you'll notice that Keisha Cole, well, first off, the nigga said her name wrong. He kept calling her Keisha Coles. He did come off a little corny. You know what I'm saying? That she wasn't used to. But you can see that she pretty much rejected this dude because he didn't have self-destructive qualities about himself, or he didn't have a certain degenerate hood swag that she was drawn to. All right? That's all what this is really about. But it just shows you that these females are seeking, they're over-infatuated with with self-destructive tendencies and with degenerate tendencies. And he can't come off as corny, but, it just goes to show you that that's what she, I'm not saying that she wasn't physically attracted to him, but when he opened his mouth, how black women, they think that, or any woman, but especially black women specifically, when you have that computer, like, nerd voice, they don't find that attractive. And he shot a shot, and she turned him down immediately. All right. So that's crazy. And it's funny because she has a son. I brought this up early in the video. She has a son named Daniel Jr., who she's raising to be like a guy like him that she rejected. All right. She's not raising her sons to be self-destructive. And that's why I say a lot of black males, some black women actually raised their sons to be upstanding men. All right. But what happens is these young boys see the type of men that's running in and outside that their mothers are running in and outside of their houses, and what type of qualities they have, and they don't match the qualities that they're teaching their sons. So their sons try to pick up on the degenerate qualities to appease their mother. That's what a lot of young black boys do. So they master game and they try to emulate degenerate black males in order to appease them, and it's an ongoing cycle. But she had a chance to get with a guy like this, and she didn't get this dude a chance. She's like, get up out of here, bro. But let's talk about, since these women want to over-scrutinize light-skinned men so much, we going to return the favor. All right? And I can see why a lot of light-skinned women feel like they belong to dark-skinned women and men is because they get more scrutinized by them. So you light-skinned cats, I need to start scrutinizing these women more. And they always trying to embarrass y'all, so let's, call out their flaws. All right? I'll see you on the next one.